on 1019 WDET. I'm Kerry Jr. II. The second annual Don Was Motor City Playlist Bowling Party is tonight at the Garden Bowl. WDET's hosts of the Don Was Motor City Playlist and Delisi and Don Was will both be there. Along with listeners, there will be pizza and a cash bar. The question that really matters is, will you be joining them? If you do, you'll likely hear some riveting stories from Don's career in the music industry. He's the president of Blue Note Records, and he's produced records for legendary musicians like Bob Dylan and Bonnie Raitt, Willie Nelson, the Rolling Stones. There's a lot of history there. And of course, Delisi, she's an institution in Detroit radio. In addition to co-hosting the Motor City Playlist, which airs on Friday nights from 8 to 10, she also hosts Essential Music on Saturdays from 11 to 2 and Sundays from 11 to 1. I'm joined by both Ann and Don right now. Thank you both for joining me, Ann and Don. Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning.
I'm doing well. Let's talk about the festivity tonight. Y'all are going head-to-head in this bowling event, the second annual bowling party. What can people expect? Is there a little rivalry brewing up?
I'd say expect every bone in your body to hurt tomorrow.
Now, Don, this is a fun, we're playing fun bowling. This is gonna stretch your muscles out, right? This is great exercise.
It's fantastic. No, I honestly, as you're setting it up, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking it's utterly surreal that this idea that we had on the air is actually now in its second year and it's an official thing. But we had a ball last year. It was just so much fun to get together and to have like an immersive experience with the listeners on the show. So I'm really looking forward to this year. Anne, right? We had a great time.
It was great fun last year, and it was. I will say first and foremost, this is a fundraiser for WDET. We're just going about getting more money into the station's coffers by hurting our bodies and having fun. So, there's general admission tickets left for tonight. You can get a lane and bowl with some of your friends. You can get a spectator ticket and eat Sergeant Pepperoni pizza and visit with all of us. It really is a fun atmosphere, and it is the Bowling Stones, Don's team, against my team, the Alley Cats. And the Bowling Stones were victorious last year, so there is slight rivalry going on tonight. So we both have our teams ready to go, and we just want to come and hang out and raise money for WDET, and this is a really fun way to do it. Doors are at 5 o'clock. It's an early night. And so we hope that you'll come out and join us. You can get tickets at wdet.org/events, or if you decide at the last minute to come on down and join us, you can get a ticket at the door tonight.
Absolutely. Is this one of the many great events that we offer at WDET where you can both support the station and have fun while doing it? Now, first, Don, when you said your body's going to hurt a little bit, I was going to say, I was going to challenge you to ask like how frequent of a bowler you are and whether Ann has a leg up on you. But then, Ann, you went ahead and followed up and also said your bodies will hurt. So I'm wondering between the two of you, I know, Don, you won last year, but which one individually is the better bowler? Don
is the better bowler.
Oh, and definitely.
Oh, you all are too kind. What kind of rivalry? I'm thinking there's, black paint under the eyes. We're like going head to head. So you all are going to take the gracious route. I like that.
We just finished the concert of colors. We're too tired to even put paint under our eyes.
That's fair. How do you comprise your teams? Are they family friends? Are they some listeners? How did that
They're
come
listeners.
About?
They're listeners who donated to be on our team. So our teams are sold out, actually. And some very generous donors picked up spots to bowl on our teams tonight. So, like I said, those are sold out, but the GA tickets are available. And if you want to buy a lane, you can get that as well. So these are really generous folks who just want to hang out and bowl with us and have some fun. So that's how that worked out.
I kind of want to talk a little bit about why y'all chose bowling to be the sport that you. Oh wow, the laughter! I'm gonna let you all go. I won't even preface the question. How did this come about? Was it just a spur of the moment thing?
Oh, believe me, yeah, it was like it was so. I think we were talking about Eddie Labansky's
two finger method.
Two finger method of bowling. Yeah, Eddie
hmm
Lubansky was a great bowler from Oak Park, uh, with,
It was a name of
national
one of
renown.
Don's. It was one of the name of Don's shows. The name of the show was the
Right.
Two Finger Method, which left a lot of room for interpretation for people who didn't know better. But um, then it was bowling, and we literally said on the air, "Hey, we should do a bowl. We should have bowling and barbecue." That's how it started, and then
Yeah.
it actually turned into bowling and pizza, which is just as well. And we'll be at the Garden Bowl, which, by the way, is the
Mhm.
oldest bowling alley in the country.
Wow, let them all know there's some history there. Yeah,
Yep.
because it's known for not just bowling, but there's concerts there as well. I mean, it's a pretty
Hmm.
hmm
historical place, and I know myself. I've been there many times, had plenty of amazing memories at the Garden Bowl. So I'm sure that'll be another event that'll be in folks' memories, and for years to years to come, to be bowling with both Ann Delisi and Don Was. Um, so you're listening to the Metro on
Sure.
1019 on WDET. I'm Kerry Jr. II. I'm joined by WDET's Ann Delisi and Don Was. Don Was is host of the Motor City Playlist, and they're going to be at the Garden Bowl tonight for the second annual Don Was Motor City Playlist Bowling Party. Tickets are available at WDET.com, or excuse me, .org/events. And this is, as Ann said earlier, a fundraiser to support WDET going forward. We really want to make sure that we can continue to support the programming that we have on the station. And I mean, what better way to do it than to spend the evening with these two and talk shop about your lives and the work that they've done. Um, Go ahead. Is that Don? Did you want to say something?
um, no, I kind of like the way you summed it up. It
Oh,
sounded good.
sure.
Actually, I had a question. Can people just walk up to the door
Yes,
if they?
they can.
Yes.
Get
They
tickets
can get a
there.
ticket at
Yeah.
the door tonight for
Right.
sure.
Good.
Absolutely. And doors are at 5. So, like I said, it's an early night, and you can come right from work and just hang out and eat pizza and laugh at the rest of us because there's going to be plenty of fodder for that, I'm sure.
So Ann and Don, as the creators of the Motor City Playlist, I want to know about how that came about. Can you tell me a little bit about that story?
I was telling Ann uh, that I thought she had the greatest job in the world because always wanted to be a DJ on WDET. Going back to the late '60s, when I was in high school, there was a disc jockey named Bud Spangler who had a late night weekend spot, and he was the only guy in town, or maybe in any town, who'd play Albert Eiler and Sun Ra. And Bud was a jazz drummer involved in the whole scene around Strata, and he was just a really heroic character. And I said, someday I'm going to have Bud Spangler show. This is in 1968. So I told Ann, I said, I'll quit my job at Blue Note. I'll do, if I could just have that spot, I'd move back to the. She said, well, you want that spot? You don't have to. Let's do a show. And so I didn't have to quit my job. And we have a ball every Friday night. We've been doing it now for 4 years. And
Yeah.
with every passing week, I have greater and greater admiration for people who are professional on the air personalities like the two of you, because it's really hard to just speak in complete sentences and not say and to have a point when you're talking. So uh, I think you two are like athletes, star athletes.
And you
Yeah.
for sure are the seasoned athlete here with all the experience for sure. I want to know though, when it comes to the music selections, how do you two collaborate on that? How do you determine, okay, this is the vibe we're going
That
with for our
that's
listeners?
all Don. Don picks all of those songs every week. He does the theme. It's all him, and it's a joy for me because I do so much of that for my own show. So it's really the best job ever to be his producer and co-host. The big responsibility of driving the ship of the show falls to Don, and
Hmm.
so I am in the back seat and loving every second of that role that I play on that show. But Don picks everything.
I mean, in that role, and though you're almost reacting, it sounds like, to the playlist that Don selects. You're like, okay, this is what we're going with today, and you get to kind of naturally on air go, this is some of the memories I have with the song, or I haven't heard this before.
I don't know what he's going to say to me, and
Wow.
I don't sometimes know the playlist, and so it is. All those reactions are in real time and the real deal, and I know that I laugh an awful lot, but you guys have no idea what it's like to sit in my spot. You'd be laughing too. So it is just the best job ever. And Don is a gifted storyteller, and he picks a playlist like no other. I learn something from co-hosting that show every week. I love it.
Do-
Ah.
Don, to you, tell us a little bit about how the sausage is made. How do you approach the selections for the show?
Um, in the old days, they used to have libraries with vinyl records in them that at a radio station you'd walk up and down the aisle and look at the covers and say, "Oh yeah, I'll play that." You pull it. So I just do a modern version of that, really, and just start looking around online, all the different streaming services, and just see what I feel like hearing. I kind of assume that if I want to hear something, there'll be at least a couple other people who want to hear it too.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we clearly
yeah.
trusted your taste in music.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that trust, and I take it very serious. um, yeah, no, it's fun. Yeah, it's what everybody does late at night. Just sit there and play on Spotify and Apple Music and just jump around, listen to different things. But I get the privilege of doing it on WDET.
And why? I mean, you have worked with everyone. You've won all these awards. You're the president of a renowned label, Blue Note Records. You've got to be busy. Like, why do this show? Why WDET?
It's fun. It's high adventure. It was something, Bradley. Like I said, it's a the two of you have some acquired skills that I admire, and I'm trying to get better at it. It's just a new fun thing to do at this stage of my life. And Anne's one of my dearest friends in the world, so it allows me to hang out with her, and at least for 2 hours on a Friday night. So it's good. It's
Best.
just fun. That's the only reason to do it. And there's also there's something that happens for me about 45 minutes into the show is I start to really relax, and I can start feeling people who are listening. I can
Hmm.
feel the audience
Mhm.
being tuned in, and it's very much like playing live. It's like playing a concert, and then you start thinking about the rising and falling action and putting some dynamics into the show. And when we finish up, it's like playing 2 hours of improvisational music. It's a lot of fun.
The dynamics of the show fascinates me. What you just said there, Don, because for what we do, part of what we do on WDT and on the Metro is we have our script, we have our kind of flow for what we want to get, especially when it comes to our
Mhm.
news segments. I'm wondering for you, if you're picking through these songs, how do you know what kind of story you want to tell, or do you even think about the type of conversation you want to have with Anne and how the music all comes together?
There's a little bit of both. It's
Okay.
it's 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 really kind of like being a jazz musician. There is some structure, and then within that structure, you have freedom to do anything you want. And so there's improvisation, and there's some. It's like bowling with the guardrails up.
Hmm.
So you can't quite throw a gutter ball, but you can you can knock down one pin sometimes
I think you're being
just
a
to keep the
bit
motif going.
you're being a bit modest here, Don, about your ability not only on the mic but also to pick a playlist. There's no bumpers on your lane when it
Yeah,
comes to a radio
yeah.
show.
Oh, I could believe me. I could drive everyone away with the right playlist. I promise
That's fair.
you.
Uh, Don, I do want to know because bowling is such an American pastime. There's a tradition of bands playing concerts at bowling alleys, and
Hmm.
you're known for
Yeah.
your stories, as you just said. Have you been to or played any memorable bowling alley shows?
Oh man, I used to have a gig at a bowling alley.
Wow.
I dropped out of University of Michigan in like 1971, and I wanted to be in a band like the MC5 and the Stooges. I was living up in Ann Arbor, but the only gig I could get was at a bowling alley in Ypsilanti. and, and it was tough because the piano player was having a hard time, and we kept saying, "Lee, you got to fix the piano. Like half of these keys don't work." And after about 3, 4 months, we got tired of waiting for them to call a piano tuner. So we went inside, and someone had dropped a bowling trophy down the piano.
Wow. My
That's
goodness.
that's one interesting challenge. Get rid of random notes on the keyboard, man. You have to make some different choices. Keeps you on your toes. But it was fun. We did a lot of Carpenter's covers. It was really a forgettable thing, but it kept me alive for a year.
And how about you, Ann? I got to be honest, for me, bands and performances at a bowling alley was new. I was at Garden Bowl few years back, I don't remember. And there was a band performing, and I was like, wait a minute. I was prepared to be in the zone, akin to almost like golf. I know they play music and there's noise, so it's not the exact same thing as golf. But I was prepared to be in the zone, and there was a band like right over my lane performing, and I wasn't ready for it. I'm curious to know from you, Ann, what your experience has been, kind of mixing the two together, what that culture is like.
I've done that exact same thing, and I was completely distracted by the band, no doubt about it. But you really can't tell by how bad of a bowler I am whether I was distracted or just regular bowling. So it didn't really matter. But I think it's fun. The thing about being in a bowling alley is because there's so much time between when you bowl, that's when all the socializing happens.
Mm-hmm.
So it's such a social event. It's just a great way to hang out with your friends and just have a good time. And that's what we want to do tonight, is just hang out with the people that are fans of Don's show. I always say that if you listen to Don's show and you've never donated before, this is a perfect way to support the show and the station at the same time by just grabbing a ticket tonight. Like I said, you can get it at the door or at wdet.org/events, and you can support what Don does that way. I'll remind everybody that Don donates his time to do that show for WDET. That is a huge donation to our program schedule and to our listeners. So this is a great time and a great way to just come out and say thanks and support WDET.
Awesome. Way to wrap it up for us. And Ann Delisi and Don Was, our co-hosts of the Don Was Motor City playlist. They're going to be at the Garden Bowl tonight for the second annual Don Was Motor City Playlist Bowling Party. Tickets are available at wdet.org/events. You can also get tickets at the door. Don and Ann, thank you so much for joining me this morning and sharing some stories.
Yeah,
Thanks for making the time for us.
Last week, President Trump and Congress revoked all funding from public media. That totals $1 billion that was previously approved by Congress. It would have gone to the Corporation of Public Broadcasting. These cuts are a significant hit to WDET. We used to receive hundreds of thousands of dollars from CPB every year. And the station isn't going anywhere, but locally produced programs like the Metro are at risk. So there's something you can do. WDET is looking to add 1,000 new members. Join our community and the fight to protect local news and Detroit-made public radio. Go to wdet.org/save and stay right there. We'll be right back on the Metro.